Hey, hey, welcome. We are making like a patterned roll cake today. So I have one in the oven, I have batter going, I have stuff happening. Try to be able to show you as many steps as I can. So what I did, the recipe gave a link to this pattern. We're doing a fall pumpkin roll. So this goes on the sheet, but because I needed the sheet back, I actually traced it on the back side of my parchment the first time, but that's the one that's in the oven. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn you down so you can see. Let me bring you a little bit closer. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this paper does need to be coated, sprayed. So I'm going to do that even though it's not on a pan. I need the pan that's in the oven. I had hoped to have this done. The other one already rolled up and cold. Okay, so spray it, and then it said to like swoosh it around on here. Just make sure it's really nice and even. Whoops, I just squished it right off onto the floor. Good thing I need to clean the floors. Okay, so we just have our parchment swooshed now. Just checking here. Okay, I got another minute. So what you do is, I have these colors, and there is a specific batter that is for the piping. And so it's powdered sugar, flour, egg whites. Just ask me for the recipe if you want it. And then I have these Wilton colors, gel colors that I use to color them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brown, and you can do any colors you want. And I did this in freezer bags of the quart size because I wanted to make sure that you guys were going to be able to do this at home without any special equipment, okay? So I'm just going to check my batter. I'll be right back, 1 second. Okay, so you can use piping bags though if that's what you have. Okay, so I chose the piping bags, by the way, if you get a nice fine tip, are going to do a little bit neater of a job, but it's okay. So I just took this brown and I went up. Now the recipe says to make sure your ingredients are room temperature. I would say make sure you do that because I didn't. And sometimes I have a little chunk of butter that I need to deal with. I am not being overly critical about how I'm doing this because I feel like it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It will be pretty no matter what. And then I'm going to outline this leaf. Okay. So I'm doing the outlining first. And then once the outlining is done, we put it in the freezer for 15 minutes. And then we can fill it in. Okay. Got some acorns over here. And I'm just going to do this until that other cake comes out. You can see. Now some of these leaves are really small. That's why I was saying if you have piping bags with tips, you're going to be able to get a little more detail. But you don't have to. You can just do these solid colors. It doesn't have to be fancy. The fact that there's a pattern on the top of your cake is going to wow everybody. Whoops. So yeah, on my sheet I had this kind of tacked down with a little bit of oil to keep it from moving. Okay. Now, of course, this is fall, so if you go on, this was just a coloring sheet printed out. So if you go on and you want to do something wintry, or you want to do something with hearts or whatever, and you're not a good artist like me, I'm terrible at drawing, then can't be good at everything, right? Then you just print something out that you like, and depending on the color of your batter, now this is pumpkin batter, so I really tried to make these colors really strong so that you could see it through the pumpkin colored batter. But if you're doing like a white cake, you know, that changes things a little bit. You can have a little bit more freedom with your colors because the cake is white. If you watch baking shows, that leaf just got really jacked up. It's okay. If you watch the Great British Baking Show, they yeah, I'm trying to rush so you guys don't have to sit here for too long, but there's some people that do it with like stripes, and they have like some sort of a gadget that they put batter and then they scrape it across and it makes stripes in it. And then you put it in the freezer and then you put the other batter on top and it looks really, really cool. A whole totally striped cake. Okay. You can be way more particular. That is totally up to you. But for the sake of what we're doing today, I was a little more particular on the one that's in the oven. So you got a little butter chunk, so I just scoop it out. No big deal. For the sake of what we're doing today, to try to not keep you guys watching me outline leaves forever. Whoops. I am just kind of going rough here. All right. So, has anybody ever done anything like this? This is my first time. And right now it doesn't look like a whole lot of anything but a lot of brown on a sheet of parchment. Probably from your angle. I don't know if you can see the pattern underneath or not. The little ones are the hardest ones to get, so I think I'm just going to just be very sparse on the decorations on the inside of those. This is where a really fine piping bag tip would be great. Okay, almost done. Whoop. Come on, there you go. Sorry guys, I'm like very concentrated right now. Okay, so Thanksgiving's a little bit wacky this year for a lot of people. But we can still be thankful. So that is my plan, to be thankful no matter what. I'd love to know how you guys are adapting, if you're adapting. Maybe you probably shouldn't put if you're not adapting in the comments. Anyway, back to the roll cake. So this actually, once it's done, once it's all rolled up and filled, you can wrap it really well. You can throw it in the freezer for a couple of months. So if you have all this stuff out and you just want to make a few, you're good to go. Okay, so that's done. The outline is done. I'm just going to throw this in the freezer. And our cake is just about done. So I'm going to move our bags because I want to show you this next step. All right. The next step is very, very important. Very, very, very important. When you're making a roll cake, not to use anything that's terry cloth because the fuzz and fibers will get in there. You want a tea cloth, tea towel here. Okay? And you want a lot of powdered sugar. I know it seems crazy, but you do not, for any reason, want to skip this step. You will regret it because your cake will stick to the thing and you will be a sad person that you did all that work and now you have nothing. You have to do this quickly because you have to get this cake rolled while it's still hot. If you don't, it will crack, okay? Let's turn that off. Let's open this up. All right. Okay, here's that. So, here's what it said to do. Let me turn you here. Here's our cake. Okay, you take a piece of parchment, the back of the thing, do this quickly. This is at 350 degrees, by the way. And just put a little spray on here. Put this on here. Oh, running a little knife around here. I just have this just to make sure. Yep, that's good. Put this on here. Put this on here. Get your things. Pot holders, that's what they're called, and flip. Okay. Woo! Okay, here it goes. Can you see it? Guys, look at how cool that is. So cool. Okay. It has the pattern right on the cake. Can you see it? It's amazing. Ah, I love it. Okay, it's hot. I don't want to mess around here. Okay, so I'm going to do this. How do I want to do this? I think I'm just going to do it. I've never really done this in between step. Let me take you back over here. Okay. And then I'm just going to do this. Okay. I'm getting powdered sugar all over my house, but it's worth it. Okay, so now we put the pattern side down on our towel, and then we take our towel, and it's okay to put a little on here. You don't want it to stick. Put a little on here. Okay. Take your towel and you roll. This seems like a very weird thing to do, but this is massively important that you do this while it's hot. Okay? And that's it. So there's your cake roll with the pattern, and you just let it cool completely. All right? So let me just put this over here. That was very exciting for me. I just want you to know that. Okay, so let me wash my hands real quick. All right. So right now, I'm in the middle of the pumpkin cake. I can't really get you that much closer because there we go, it's a little bit better. Okay, so right now in here, I have 3 whole eggs, sugar, and brown sugar, except for I used molasses. You're supposed to be sifting all of this. I'm not doing it. Where did my measuring spoons go? Hello? Measuring spoons? I don't know where they went, so let's get another set. Okay, so I'm going to add my baking powder. Okay, I'm going to take you over here for a minute and then put you back in the stand because I need you to see. So you want it to be, let me see, how do I do this? See how it's kind of light yellow and really kind of thick and nice? That's what you're looking for. So you beat it for like 3 minutes. Okay, so let me flip you back around so you can see what's going on. Get you in the stand. Hopefully I don't stop anything. Okay, so yes, professionally I would sift this all, but I'm not a professional. I'm just a home cook who likes to take shortcuts, and usually it works out. So it worked out this time. Okay. Baking soda, baking powder, salt, pumpkin pie seasoning. Oh, I was supposed to put the pumpkin in there. See? Let's do that first. It's not a lot of pumpkin in there, but you're making a sponge as well, by the way, so it's really important to make sure you get a lot of air in there. That's how you make a sponge. Oops. Okay. Oh. I found my measuring spoons. They're right here. Whoopsie. Okay, and pumpkin pie spice. I just made my own. I found a recipe online, and I just put it in a jar and labeled it. I don't get super picky about this pumpkin pie spice in anything because a little bit extra is never going to hurt anyone. Okay, and then flour is always measured by a spoon. You do not want to scoop in. You're getting more flour than the recipe calls for if you do that. So you just spoon it in and find something level to level it off. Turn this down to low. Add the flour. We need 3/4 of a cup. This recipe also has the weight measurements, and I was trying to use that for everything, but the flour was the only thing I just did in a cup. Okay. We have cake. You don't want to overbeat this, so once it's incorporated, just stop it, and then you can mix it all together by hand. Like that'll be plenty. And I have a spatula here. Get all this good stuff off of here. Whew. I had to go put a tank top on and turn the heat off. I tried to turn the heat on for these ladies, but I can't do it before cooking. It's too much, too hot. Okay. So this is our pumpkin sponge batter. Can you see that? No. Let me turn you down a little bit so you can see. Okay. So this is our pumpkin sponge. We're not quite ready for it, so normally I wouldn't have this ready already, but I just needed to give that batter a little time to freeze up, okay? But I don't want to mess with it too much because I don't want to eat all of the air out of it. Okay, so let's come back over here. All right, how's this pan doing? Still pretty hot, so we're gonna wait. All right, let's get this back out. It probably, oops, I just squished it on my freshly cleaned fridge. Okay, I just squished a little bit, that's okay. It's probably not quite hard enough, but I just really want to show you. So, I took the different colors, so like on these maple, I think they are, leaves here. Doesn't really matter that the pattern's under there. I did kind of an outline on the maple, just to fill it in. And you go right over the top of all of the stems. You don't even worry about those. Those don't even exist. That's why you're putting it in the fridge, so that those are nice and hard and they don't get affected by what you're doing. And it doesn't have to be super pretty. And I'll go back over this with my finger. A little bit of water just to keep it from sticking. And then I filled in these oak, maybe? I don't know. I don't know why I pretend like I know what leaves are what. I don't. So, I'm trying to think. That maple does look, that big one does look like the leaves that were in my back, and I think I had a maple. Not anymore. We had to cut her down. Okay, and then I took this yellowy orange fiery color. This is our favorite color leaf in the fall. Actually, I just want to get a little bit closer over here. Spots that I missed. Okay, and I'm just going to fill the rest of this in. Like I said, I'm just filling it in. I'm going to smooth it over with my finger. It's okay. All of us perfectionists, it's really okay. Okay, and I'm moving quickly because I didn't leave this in the freezer long enough for the first layer, and I really don't want to mess it up. So I forgot to fill in the acorns. Where's the other ones? Here we go. Acorn. Acorn. And I forgot to fill the tops of those, so I'm going to put some brown in there. Okay. And then I have this, like, I don't know, purpley red color that, yeah, see, I can tell it's kind of affecting the parts that are not quite frozen enough. That's okay. So I'm putting this color here. Just quickly. Okay, and now there's a cream cheese frosting that I whipped up using their recipe, but it didn't quite work the way I think it's supposed to, so I don't know if I'll use it or not. Let me just get a little bit of water to dab my finger in. Okay. Just dab and sort of put it into place here. That's all. Smooth it out a little bit. A little bit of water helps there to not be resistance. You don't want to do a ton of water, just a little bit. And then I can smooth this right out. Okay. This is all we're making today because I knew that these steps were important and that they would take a little bit of time. So I have the ladies bringing the rest of the snacks today. Okay. And I am not going to be able to finish this for you completely because it didn't get cooked in time, that first one. However, all you need to do at this point is once that is completely cool, the one that we already flipped out and did, once that's completely cool, you unroll it and just be careful. You don't want to be like, you know, like a China doll. You're playing with a China doll, but you also don't want to pretend like it's not a fragile cake either. So unroll it, and then you spread the cream over it and you roll it up. Put a little you actually take a little, what did it say, water, I think it said, at the end. Let me see. Unroll it. Yeah, you don't want it to stick to the towel. Cracking, blah, 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 blah. Roll the cake up and brush the top lightly with a layer of simple syrup or creamer to remove the extra powdered sugar and reveal the design. Wrap it in plastic wrap and refrigerate for 4 hours to firm it up and make it easier to cut. And then you cut it. So here's our leaf pattern. This will go in the pan, but it's got to go in the freezer again for another 20 minutes. And then I will spread the batter over that and throw it in the oven for about 16 to 18 minutes, depending on your oven, at 350. Okay, so I'll throw this in here. Normally I'd want to do that right on the pan, but the pan was hot. So, all right. Whew. Can you tell I'm like totally flushed? All right, so that was really cool. I saw that pattern. So I'm going to take pictures of it when it's all done, and I'm going to post them for you guys. If you want the recipe to this, let me know, but you can see, you look at a recipe like that and you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could do something like that. You saw what I did there. It really wasn't that complicated. You're tracing. If you can trace, you can make this. So it's a really fun, but like really impressive. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, what did you make? It's not that bad. So I wanted to try it because I've never done it with a pattern before. I think that was a great choice. Hopefully this is something you might want to make for your Thanksgiving. The filling part of this recipe I wasn't in love with, so I probably would just make my own cream cheese frosting and spread that in and roll it up with like a little pumpkin pie spice in it or something. This is how it came out. And I just, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know. I'm going to use it because I have it, but I don't even know if I'm going to use it because this has been in the fridge for a while and it's just too thin. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about this, but that's not what it's supposed to be like. It's supposed to be like a frosting. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but maybe we'll just dip it today because I'm hot and time is ticking. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this was encouraging and helpful, that you can do it. You can try those things that are a little bit tricky. Have a great day, guys. Bye.